Hello, hello. Welcome. All right, come in, everybody. Ooh, I see my flurry of emojis. I like to think that that's everybody taking a seat, getting ready. Okay, how's it going? I am Jenny. I am your host for today's VWS Connect. I am so excited to see everybody virtually. I see our audience row is starting to pile up with your bright faces. Is everybody excited for today? All right. Is this your very first VWS event? If you are a first timer, give me a thumbs up. And if you're returning, give me a heart. Let's see. Ooh, we got a lot of thumbs. Oh, some hearts are trickling in. Welcome back. How was your summer? I just hiked Mount Kilimanjaro last month. I hope you guys had a really awesome August. We took a little bit of a VWS break, but I raised $25,000 for Mercy for Animals last month. So I hope that you guys also had a great summer. I'm really excited to have you all here today. We have some of the world's most amazing employers in the future of food and plant-based space to meet you. I'm going to go through some quick opening remarks, do all the housekeeping, all that fun stuff, and then I will start to bring up some of our speakers. So first off, if you are not following us on social media, this is the plug I got to do. So less notifications than me. Please pull out your phones and make sure to follow at Vegan Women's Summit on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, or at Veg Women's Summit on Twitter. We also have a private LinkedIn group for you to join. So please go to the link in the chat to join our private LinkedIn group. That's where we're talking all things shop and how we are going to build a plant-based future with all of you after today's event. Next, if you have not had a chance, please go to your profile tab and make sure to fill everything in. So I can see lots of photos down there, so lots of you have had a chance to do that. But if you have not had a chance to do that, you're going to want to go up there to the top right and you will see your initials. If you click those, that is where you can fill out information about yourself, load your beautiful headshot, as well as put some of the handles for how we can contact you. So throughout today's conversation, you're going to see all kinds of different people here in the audience row as well as up on stage. And if you hover over our names or our picture, so maybe just hover over that Jennifer right now, you'll see how to connect with them directly. So I expect to get tons and tons of LinkedIn connections after today's event, and I hope you do too. All right, next. You are going to have a very exciting run of show for today. I'm going to tell you what to expect. Before I tell you the run of show, please remember this whole thing is recorded. So if for any reason you miss something, or maybe you're on a funky time zone and it's the middle of the night and you're kind of falling asleep, don't worry. This entire thing is recorded, including all the breakout sessions. So if you miss one of the employers because it takes place at the same time as the other employer, no worries, you'll be able to rewatch all of the employer sessions at a later time. So for today's run of show, you are going to be a quick introduction. I'm going to bring up a few of the CEOs that we have attending today, which will be a lot of fun. And then after that, you're actually going to go directly to your first set of employer breakout sessions. We have 8 employers here today. They're going to be taking place 2 at a time, so you can choose one or the other or switch between the 2. So there will be a total of 4 different slots. After that is my favorite part of today, live networking. Has anybody here, give me a little clap, has anybody here done the VWS live networking? Okay, all right. So I see some of you are here because you said, Jenny, you guys do the best networking in the industry. And not to toot my own horn, but we really do. So please stay for the live networking portion. That's going to take place at about 15 minutes after the hour, after we do all of our employer breakout sessions. And that is your chance to meet one-on-one directly with other job seekers and industry professionals here in the room. So you will actually get a chance to pop up on screen, turn your camera mic on, and meet somebody else for 3 minutes. Kind of like chat roulette, if anybody remembers that. Am I a millennial dating myself if I say that? Chat roulette? Well, yeah, I see somebody. Yeah, you guys remember it? Okay. So that is what the second portion today will look like. Last thing I'm going to tell you, and then we're going to bring up some of our fun live guests, is if you have any trouble today, the best thing that you can do is just refresh your tab. It's kind of like the old unplug it and plug it back in. If for whatever reason things are glitching, maybe your connection gets lost, all good, just refresh the tab and hop back on. That usually fixes 99.9% of issues. If you want to chat today, we have a chat tab on the right, and below it we have our questions tab. We'll be using the questions tab for the employer breakout sessions. All right, I think that is about it for housekeeping. I've got some wonderful guests to bring up, surprise guests to come say hi to you. So let's see if we can pop them up on stage. All right. Okay. All right. Hello, ladies. So welcome to the stage.
Hi.
Alexis Fox, who is, girl, you are just like a legend in the plant-based space. She is the founder of Lighter. And then we have Natasha Diagude.
Yes.
Okay, I practiced that ahead of time. I always practice everyone's last name because I got Stojkovic here, who is the CEO of Genova Bioworks, a really cool up-and-coming plant-based startup out of Canada. Welcome to the stage, ladies.
Thank you. It's really exciting to be here. I'm just thrilled that this exists and really happy to be a part of it. So thank you for organizing.
Yes,
Awesome.
I would say the same, echo the same sentiments, and I'm loving the energy in the room.
Awesome. Okay, well, if anybody's been to VWS Connect before, you know that this is our fun little warm-up that we do with CEOs to talk about all things jobs before we get headed into the breakout rooms. I'm going to start with my very first question. We'll go to you first, Natasha. What was your first job?
That's a great question. My first job was, I graduated university, did not know what I wanted to do. I had a degree in biochemistry, so everybody that I graduated with was going into research or in the medical field or some type of, lab technician type of job. So I knew I always wanted to do something creative mixed with my background in science. Did not know anything about entrepreneurship or startups or that world at all. But I ended up getting a job at a incubator to help cybersecurity startups grow. So so my role involved everything from anticipating what a startup needs and giving them the resources to succeed and grow.
That's an epic first job. What about you, Alexis?
Well, my first job, like when I was thinking first job, I was thinking of as a teenager. So I was a babysitter, but then I remember biking there, when I was 15, I worked at a little small deli in town. My town was tiny, and I worked the meat slicer. I made people sandwiches. I think I became vegetarian in that period, but my first job was working a meat slicer at a deli.
Okay. Natasha, did you have any before running a cybersecurity incubator?
I worked at a bowling alley. It was great. I used to work with a lot of older gentlemen, actually, who used to have a lot of different clubs, and it was a very competitive time in the bowling alley for sure. So that was really fun. Yeah.
My first job was a cashier at a hardware store, so I also was surrounded by lots of older gentlemen.
That's amazing.
So what do you think was your biggest misconception about becoming a CEO? We'll go with you first, Alexis.
I think that you had to put on, that you had to be a certain way, that you couldn't be your full self. I think that when you first wear that title, you feel like you're stepping in the shoes of actually a lot of men. They're kind of your model ahead of time. And it's very important that you actually are your full self as a CEO. And so I think that's what I came into later on.
I love it. Natasha?
Yeah, for me, I think similar to what Alexis said. And also you perceive a CEO role, you think, okay, well, they're always deemed as you're the most important. But then when you're actually stepping into the role of CEO, you have to wear so many different hats. I do everything from, fundraising and managing and overseeing operations of the company to cleaning out our kitchen and cleaning out our fridge to, it's just such a wide range of activities that you have to take on, and you have to be willing to do everything across the board. You can't just be the CEO and wear that title and deem that as the highest thing in the hierarchy.
Is being a CEO as glamorous as you thought?
Definitely not. Not for me anyway, from what I just said. From my experience, I feel like I've just done everything and still continue to do everything, because I just want to be involved in, every small decision. I know it's hard as your company continues to grow, but it's your baby. You've seen it grow from small stage to growth stage. And so I just think it's important for you not to take yourself so seriously and really do as much as you can.
Alexis, what would you? Yeah,
I 100% agree. I mean, I think there are some moments, at least in my journey, that have felt pretty fun and glamorous in that it's like I've met some amazing human beings and been in some amazing places. But at the end of the day, it really is about the full team and the ecosystem and all the stakeholders. And you're carrying around your responsibilities to every stakeholder. It's your customers, it's your partners, it's your investors, it's your employees, and really taking care of them and going through a real life with them, really finding out about their grandma dying or their kid being born, or, and it's a group of people who travel through life together if you have a great company. And so that's all of the ups and downs of real life, and really being there for all of that real life that occurs in a human's decade of working, or however long they stay.
Very, very human approach. I'm going to ask you guys one last question before we pop into the breakout sessions. I'll start with you, Alexis. For everybody here that's looking to get a job, what would you say is your top tip for how folks can stand out or how they can really make an impact?
Oh, that's a great question. I think this is a different world, right? So previously, I would say show up at everything. One of the things that I think is so fantastic about what you're doing with Vegan Women's Summit is you're giving people still the opportunity to do that. But in terms of standing out, it is also being your full self. It's being your real self, really sharing why the mission matters to you. And then, we're always looking for people who are willing to think outside the box of their job, especially at a startup. And even for bigger startups, you need people who are willing to kind of take on the full scope of the company, and that they care about all of it. And, we have great people in food coach role who have really great ideas for product features. We have people who have tips for the food coaches or things that they think engineering can think about. So really being able to participate in the whole company and showing that you're excited to bring your full self to it.
Natasha?
I would say something similar. I would say think outside the box, especially because we're such a science-based company. For me, it's really important to have employees that can mix creativity with science, because we're looking at disrupting a very, very traditional manufacturing space. And so we're always looking for people to work in the lab, do their research, and then be able to make a commercially viable product that we can bring to the market and bring these innovative brands and really help grow the food industry and help the food industry across the supply chain. So thinking outside of the box, creativity, being able to be independent and executing one's own ideas is really, really important for us.
Amazing. Well, everybody, you're going to get to meet Alexis and Natasha in their breakout rooms shortly. But first, I believe we have a few other employers that are going to be heading over to their breakout rooms right now. We are all going to say goodbye for now. See you in the next room, and we will see you soon. Thank you, ladies.
Thank
See
you.
you in there.